Y'all know what time it is. Today is the 2nd of November. The book is supposed to drop on the 16th of November. GQ got some excerpts from the Scottie Pippen's Unguarded memoirs where he is going in and he exposes a little bit of hate MJ got for LeBron James. Marcus Smart threw his teammates under the bus last night after they blew a 19-point lead, losing to 14 points. He got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum looking crazy out here in these streets. We're going to have to talk about this, man. Happy freaking Tuesday, November 2nd. Salute to the NBA community, man. Welcome to the Best of 7 Sports Talk. I'm Seven Mitchell, man. Y'all know the vibes today. We're getting closer and closer to the release of Scottie Pippen's book. And y'all know when this thing drop, ass is going to be in seat. Some of y'all that don't read, y'all going to finally be reading. Like I'm excited for this book because I know all of y'all don't read. We're going to stop the capping. But in this book, GQ had released today some excerpts that Scottie Pippen had in regards to Michael Jordan and LeBron James and the Last Dance documentary. Now, some people may already kind of feel this way, but Scottie Pippen pretty much revealed, or at least this is an opinion of his, that Jordan was determined to prove that he was still larger than LeBron to all the new generation fans, and he was still to this day, even with the Lakers, larger than LeBron. That was the real whole basis of the Last Dance documentary, according to Scottie Pippen. Scottie says this was not about the final season of the Bulls. And you can clearly tell by how some of the other players had disdain for how they were depicted in the movie, in the documentary, and the lack of insight that you've gotten from some other players. So Scottie is saying that this whole thing was kind of cooked up to, I don't want to say remind people, but to convince folks, according, from the MJ perspective, that he's better than LeBron. Jordan had to create this narrative that he was larger than life, and he's still larger than life. Now, I don't know how long we're going to have this conversation between Jordan and LeBron. Everybody want to say Jordan is the GOAT, 6 undefeated, in the finals. We know all that. We got the stats. We got the numbers. LeBron is still playing. So, that conversation is still up for debate, in my opinion. But we are seeing and hearing the real Michael Jordan from other people that was close to him. My only problem is when I look at it on face value, what difference is it really going to make now? We already kind of have an opinion in our mind about Michael Jordan from years back, from the sneakers comment to, I think, remember Chameleonaire, the rapper Chameleonaire had an issue with Michael Jordan, like Jordan wouldn't shake his hand or some old weird type of situation that happened a long time ago for all y'all hip hop heads. But people have gained their own opinion about Michael Jordan off the court. And if Scottie Pippen and some of these other players, Craig Hodges and some of these other guys, if they would have came back with this type of energy before, they probably would have got crucified. May have went on deaf ears because it wasn't no social media back in the day. But if it could be proven, it would have meant much more back then if these niggas would have came out and talked this talk and walked that walk back then. Because now it just seems like a clout chase. Scottie Pippen's book is releasing November the 16th. It's called Unguarded, the memoirs. We done heard little excerpts. He talks about Phil Jackson. He talked about Jordan, in some other lights. But he said that this whole Last Dance thing wasn't even about the Chicago Bulls. He said this was something in Michael Jordan's mind constructed to pretty much hate on LeBron. If you want to look at it, like, don't forget who I am. And I'm not mad at that. If you got the footage, if you got the proof, and if you feel some type of way about somebody taking your spot, then claim it. I don't have no issue with what Jordan doing, or if the Last Dance was geared towards, reminding the new generation of who was the man and who arguably still should be considered the man. I mean, make your case. I ain't mad at that at all. I know LeBron's documentary is going to be crazy. That's going to be crazy. Everybody going wild over the Last Dance, but watch when LeBron's shit drop, whenever that is, it's going to be bananas. It's going to be so fucking sick. Look what this man had to go through. So that's going to be wild. But Scottie Pippen, he got gloves off. This book is going to sell. I think he's going to get so many interview opportunities that people going to want to hear him elaborate on some of these comments and statements that's in the memoirs. But he basically saying that the Last Dance is really a Michael Jordan over LeBron thing. This was not really to celebrate their last years together. This was not to really highlight what instrumental part the teammates brought to the 6 championships. This was all about MJ, and this was all about MJ over LeBron, according to Pippen. And like I said at the beginning of the live stream, some of y'all probably already felt like the Last Dance was more of a Michael Jordan-based type of project than the Chicago Bulls overall. Everybody got their little 2 cents in, but we also know that Michael Jordan got to see everything before it got released. So everybody had to cross their T's and dot their I's one way or another. But Scottie Pippen, man, he's one of these guys. I don't know what to say about Scottie. I really don't. Scottie be keeping it a buck, but Scottie just be so weird. Like, his credibility with some of the stuff he say, I think it gets downplayed because of the weirdness that he brings to people's aura. He's a champion, Hall of Famer. Scottie got all the accolades in the world, man. Like, let's be real. But it's just something about Pippen. And then you got these young boys running around with his wife and his ex-wife, like running around looking like they got him looking real crazy, right? So it's like when you drop in these memoirs and all this other stuff, man, it's just like you looking like a chatty patty. I think it'll be something for people to talk about. It is going to be something for people to talk about, but I don't think folks is going to look at LeBron any different. I don't think people are going to look at Jordan any different. It is what it is. I'm getting the book, though. I'm not going to sit up there and play with games with y'all today. I'm getting the Scottie Pippen book, Unguarded. When it gets released, I'm going to get it. And I know, like I said, all of y'all don't read. So y'all going to talk all y'all shit, but some of y'all don't even read books. I'm going to get the damn book, and I'm going to do a live stream. I'm going to read the damn book. We're going to get every piece of what Scottie Pippen had to say about MJ and the Bulls, Phil Jackson. We want all that. So I'm going to make sure I get the memoirs. But Scottie Pippen, man, he let everybody know that he feel like this particular Last Dance project was not about the Bulls. This was about Jordan showing the new generation that he was larger than life, and he still is over LeBron James. I don't know what y'all think about that, but y'all let me know. And if y'all are getting the Scottie Pippen memoir, going out, I believe, released November the 16th. Is expected to be released. We got a couple games tonight, full schedule, November the 2nd in the NBA, man. Tonight, 7 o'clock, we got Milwaukee at Detroit. I got the Bucks over the Pistons tonight. 7:30, we got a doubleheader on TNT. We got Miami at Dallas tonight at 7:30. I'm gonna go with the Heat to beat Luka in Dallas. Then at 9 o'clock, Utah is at home playing Sacramento. I'm gonna go with the Jazz to pull that one out. The second half of the doubleheader for TNT goes down at 10 between the Phoenix Suns and the New Orleans Pelicans, man. I know the Pelicans is waiting for Zion to come back. Zion is not that guy to me. I'm not convinced. I am not sold. I just told my co-host Preach if I had a choice all over again, I would pick Ja Morant over Zion all day, every day in the draft. I'm not sold on Zion Williamson. And there was talks about him not even want to play for New Orleans no more. But the Pelicans is going to be locked in with the Suns tonight at 10 p.m. I think Phoenix will pull that out. Then, of course, my Lakers, LeBron James and crew. At home, Staples Center is going up against the Houston Rockets. That's a 10:30 p.m. game. So I got my Lakers over Houston, of course. Phoenix over New Orleans tonight. Utah over Sacramento. I got Miami going into Dallas getting a win. And I got Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Detroit Pistons. Those games going down tonight. Doubleheader on TNT. And if you got the NBA League Pass, make sure y'all check out those games, man. Jimmy Butler, Miami visits Luka. Brandon Ingram, he's averaging 25 points a game so far this season for New Orleans, but Devin Booker, he's averaging just about 23. So that's going to be a good back and forth battle between Brandon Ingram and Devin Booker. Then my guy AD, 25 and 11 for the Lakers, all going down tonight in the NBA, man. This is the seven, Mitchell with the best of seven sports talk. Did y'all know that the current NBA three-point percentage right now is 34%? It hasn't been that low since the 1998-99 season. And some basketball players are really blaming the new Wilson basketball. NBA players are definitely complaining about the new Wilson ball after the league-wide decrease in the three-point percent. Paul George, he spoke about the Wilson basketball. This is what Paul George had to say. Not to make an excuse about the ball, but it's a different basketball. It don't have the same touch, softness that the Spalding ball had, and you'll see this year. It's going to be a lot of bad misses. PG projected this a while back when it came to the switch of the basketball. I wonder if James Harden going to use this as an excuse. But it's not just Paul George. There's multiple players. I think Trae Young, Jason Tatum, Luka, Dame Lillard, even Kevin Durant. I think all of those guys had an opinion voiced about the new Wilson basketball that the NBA is now playing with. Shout out to my man Melo, year 19. Melo is shooting the ball just as well as he has done in his 19-year career, man. I'm so happy for Melo. Right now, he's averaging 16.7 points a game. That's the most he's averaged since the 2016-17 season. He's shooting 50% from the field. That's the highest field goal percentage Melo shot in his whole career. Whole 19 years, Melo is now shooting his highest at 50%. I know it's early on in the season, but just a great jump start to see him shooting 50% from the field, his highest ever. And from three-point line, he's shooting 52% from three, which also is his highest ever percentage. So a great start for Melo in year 19. Like I said, the Lakers are going to be locked in with the Houston Rockets tonight. 10 o'clock, I think, 10:30. KD through week 2 of the regular season. We already 2 weeks in of the NBA. Kevin Durant is leading all players in points, 194. Giannis is coming at second with 191. Point per game average through the second week. Leading all players is Steph Curry and Ja Morant are in a two-way tie for first place, man. 28.7 points a game for Steph Curry and Ja Morant both. Salute to my brother Anthony. Peace to my G. Also, in NBA news, there was something else that we definitely had discussed. Marcus Smart. We got big trouble in Boston because Marcus Smart is not no new guy. Marcus Smart, an 8-year veteran, he's been pretty much frontlining for the Boston Celtics as long as he's been there. But Marcus Smart threw Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum pretty much under the bus, in my opinion, last night after they blew that 19-point loss. So he spoke his mind, and I'm pretty sure that it has been reports that Marcus Smart had this conversation with the team or with these guys behind the scenes before. So it's not like he just doing some old funny style shit. I don't want to make it seem like that, but he went hard. He said, every team know we going to try to throw the ball to Jason Tatum or Jaylen. I think everybody's scouting reporters that make those guys try to pass the ball, but they don't want to pass the ball. And that's something they're going to learn. Now, we know what Kobe and that Mamba mentality thing was like, that mindset that people think it's all about shooting a basketball. Jason Tatum is a student of that. He comes under that Kobe pillar. Kyrie comes under that Kobe pillar. Them guys, if they like 3 for 14, 3 for 20, Kobe said y'all supposed to be 3 for 30. Like Kobe conditioned these guys to shoot that damn ball. And Jason Tatum, to me, still is the best player Boston has. Jaylen Brown is a better two-way player than Marcus Smart. You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't really know what type of win Marcus think is he going to have with this comment. This might have him on his way out the door, voluntarily or involuntarily. Those guys are young. Boston has went through like the start of their season has just been ridiculous. I don't think anybody favored the Celtics to come out of the East other than Boston fans. But I don't think a lot of people felt like they would start the year off the way that they're starting. They blew the game against New York. They blew this game. We only in the second week, and they just not looking good at all. So some moves gonna have to be made. And with Marcus Smart speaking out like this, regardless of his facts, he could be out the door simply because, you know, chemistry is a big deal. Look what's going on in Philly. Look what's going on in other places. They're not going to play around. If dudes cannot get along in the locker room and be on the same page, they're not even going to try to take a chance with it. The Lakers proved in 2020 that if you go in a bubble and you take away all the distractions, you can get the championship done. And you don't have to necessarily have the best players or the best team out there on the court. Chemistry plays a huge role in that. So I don't know, man. Marcus Smart could be on his way out the door. Might be a good thing for him because I don't see Boston winning nothing. But he threw them guys under the bus. I think that's a conversation, like I said, you should have in the locker room. But it's reported that he been told these guys that they shooting too damn much. JJ Redick just retired, but he had some comments about Kevin Durant. He says Kevin Durant's the best player in the NBA, and everybody else is sort of competing for that second spot. What he's been able to do post Achilles has been nothing short of remarkable. This is just my thing. Two things can be true, but you can also say something true and be incomplete at the same time. Yes, KD has been remarkable since coming back from that injury. But I don't know what the hell JJ Redick is talking about Kevin Durant being the best player in the NBA and everybody else is sort of competing for that second spot. LeBron is not in the class of anybody's. So if LeBron is not number one, he damn sure ain't competing with Giannis and Kawhi and Steph. He would be a clear number two. But I got LeBron still number one. It just bugs me out the hate that these guys have on LeBron. If LeBron was a troublemaker, used to get arrested, wasn't a good role model, I get it. Get his ass out of here. Make KD the new face. LeBron for 19 years have showed consistency. The real face of the NBA. Never disappointed. Never had the league looking bad. Kobe had his issues. Jordan had his issues. Magic had his issues. LeBron is not perfect, but LeBron has tried to keep his nose clean, and pretty much I've never seen an iconic figure keep their nose clean for at least 19 years straight like LeBron has. Even in high school, he wasn't a real, like, a troublemaker. Like, his story was not that. He come from hard times, but he found a way to stay out of trouble throughout this whole period of time. And he do not get the credit for it. Blows my mind. This is the best of 7 Sports Talk, man. I'm 7 Mitchell, about to get up out of here. Just wanted to let y'all know what was up with Scottie Pippen. That memoir book is releasing November the 16th. It's called Unguarded. He talks about Phil Jackson being a racist, Michael Jordan in his last dance. Scottie said the last dance wasn't about the Bulls. It was about Jordan being better than LeBron. He said this whole thing was constructed by MJ to prove that he was the man back in the day and that he's more of an icon than LeBron James. So that's interesting because LeBron still got his feet wet and LeBron documentary hasn't dropped. But LeBron shit going to be serious. I promise you. But in the meantime, man, Scottie Pippen's memoir drops November the 16th. It's called Unguarded. I'm definitely going to make sure I cop that. Maybe I'll go ahead. You know what? I need to get it together. I'm going to buy a copy for a couple of my supporters here on the Best of 7 Sports Talk. So I'm going to order about 3 or 4 copies of the Scottie Pippen book. And maybe we'll have a little trivia or something, or maybe I'll just do a giveaway. But I'll make sure somebody, a couple people, are able to get this good read, because Scottie going to be talking this shit. No doubt about it. Like, comment, and subscribe, man. This is the Best of 7 Sports Talk. I'm 7 Mitchell. Catch you guys tomorrow with the podcast, man. Myself and Preach, full podcast coming tomorrow. Y'all already know how we rocking. About to get up out of here, though. Y'all stay safe, and I'll get at y'all later on with the rest of the hot NBA news. I'm out, though. Peace.